Greetings, Sir Shrimpington here, and welcome to Ultima Online Gatherlands. Today, we're going to be talking about the wonderful world of gathering, whether you want to topple tall trees or mine misty mountains. This video is for you.
Uncle, I think I need some water.
Oh, little Timmy, get back in the mines and we can talk about water once you've brought me an iron commodity.
I don't feel so good.
Aha! Oh, little Timmy. Welcome to Sir Shrimpington's Guide to Gathering. Here we go.
Uncle, is that you? Uncle? Ah!
Please, more mining and less screaming, little Timmy. Honestly, it's impossible to find good help these days.
Uncle!
Anyway, in Outlands, there are 4 primary professions. These are mining, lumberjacking, forensic evaluation, and fishing. In this video, we will not be covering fishing. This is because fishing is a little bit more complicated than the other gathering professions, and frankly, it deserves to get a video all to itself. If you would be interested in a fishing guide, then please do let me know in the comments below, and perhaps I will bestow such a gracious boon upon you. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? So, let's talk about why you might want to make a gatherer in Outlands. Gathering is very lucrative. As of the making of this video, the price of an iron commodity is around 150,000 gold. One commodity is 5,000 iron ingots, and each ore yields 2 ingots when smelted, so we'll need to mine 2,500 ore to get all this shiny gold from our friends. This is a great way to build up your account's wealth when you're first starting out. So, how do we gather all this gold? Resources, that we will then turn into commodities, which we will then turn into gold. Yes, shiny gold. Well, mining and lumberjacking are functionally almost identical, so we will talk about them together. Now, when we take part in mining or lumberjacking in Outlands, we need to ensure that we have equipped either a pickaxe or a hatchet respectfully. Once we have done so, we can click on the tool and then click where we want to gather the resource to begin gathering. Wait, what's that garish thing? Oh, it's just a captcha. Let me just type out the answer here. Oh, blast it. Let me try again. I curse the man who developed such an accursed system that I, a totally real human being, cannot answer correctly. There we go. When we gather in Outlands, we will need to fill out this captcha once at the start, and then every so often after that. It sounds annoying, but really it isn't that big of a deal, and it helps to deter those awful botters from ruining all of our good fun. Alright, so we filled out our captcha. Huzzah! We have started gathering resources. But wait, if we click on ourselves instead of the resource, then we will trigger smart harvesting. This will automatically harvest all nearby resources, so we don't need to go around clicking on every little thing. Neat? Well, it's kind of neat, but actually what you want to do is go and download a script to automatically gather for you. That way, you just need to move from node to node, and the resources will be gathered without giving you carpal tunnel. Trust me, all that clicking will leave you permanently scarred, and we don't have healing in this build. Anyway, all resources in Outlands are shared. This means that if our other gathering friends reach a location before us, then, well, there may not be any more ore or logs to go around. As such, it's best to find and be comfortable with more than one gathering location. Lastly, we cannot gather for a short time after fast travelling, so let's use this time to set up our summons and scripts whilst we wait for the timer to run down.
Uncle Shrimpy,
Zgads, little Timmy, what happened?
the monsters.
You're right, little Timmy. Anyone that hasn't liked and subscribed is a monster. Anyway, here's a list of all the logs and ores that you'll be able to gather once you've gotten your skill up a little. But how exactly do we find which trees and rocks will yield these higher level resources? Okay, here's where it gets a little tricky. Each time a gathering node spawns, there is a percentage chance that the node will be a higher grade of resource than simply a normal log or ore. These are the percentage chances of a node being oh so special. Now, there is no way to tell if a node is a rare node or not until you start gathering from it. But even if it is a rare node, you're not guaranteed to gather the rarer resource. There is a 50% chance that even if you're mining, for example, an averite node, you'll only yield iron ore for any particular swing. But if you hit the other 50% and gather the averite ore, and your gathering level is not high enough to gather that particular node, then the node will default to the highest resource that you can gather. Hey, why are you looking at me like that? It's all very simple. Fine, Rodney. We'll go through an example. Let's say that I attempt to harvest this very tantalizing looking rock. Well, when this rock respawned its ore, the game determined that on this particular spawn, the mining node was going to be an averite ore vein, the best ore in the game. Tremendous. So, we swing our pickaxe at the vein. The game then gives us a 50% chance of hitting iron ore instead of averite ore. Let's say that we hit the 50% to gather iron ore instead of the rare resource. Well, the game then also determines if we will successfully extract any ore at all. This is checked against our effective skill level, which is our mining skill, plus any other bonuses from our aspect, mastery links, or the tool that you're using. Let's say that was successful too. Then, huzzah! We have gathered an iron ore, and the game will then check if there is more ore available on that particular node. If there is, then we will be able to swing again. If there is not, then the ore is depleted and will take between 60 and 90 minutes to respawn. Let's say that there is more ore in this node and the game lets us swing again, but this time, on the 50% check, we hit the chance to get averite ore. Then, the game checks if we actually gathered at all, and oh no, the game has determined that our skill was not enough to gather on this particular occasion. But don't worry, let's swing again. Alright, this time we hit the 50% chance to get the Averite ore, and we've hit a success on gathering the ore. Yes, the best ore in the game, and it is all ours. Wait, why did I only gather a Valorite ore? Well, if your skill level is not high enough to mine the ore node that you're mining, then the game will default to giving you the highest possible ore that you can mine at your current level. I am currently level 100 mining, and as such the highest ore I can gather is Valorite ore, so that Averite vein that I would have gathered from, if I was level 110, has been downgraded for this particular gathering attempt. Now, this was just one example, but this is how gathering works for both mining and lumberjacking. So when a tree respawns, its gathering node, it also determines if that tree is going to give you a rarer log or not. As I said, mining and lumberjacking are very similar. Okay, so let's take a look at the different gathering tools available to us. We can buy gathering tools from NPC vendors or from other players. When you first start out, the NPC tools are just fine, so don't worry about going around and getting the best tools right away if you don't want to. Now, let's look at buying from other players. We can buy any tool from dull copper all the way to Averite. Now, the material your pickaxe or hatchet is made from will not affect the type of resource that you yield. As we saw earlier, the resource you yield is already determined when the game spawns the gathering node. So, why buy higher value tools? Well, it's all about the tool bonus. As you can see, an exceptional, master-crafted Averite pickaxe would give us a 0.26 tool bonus. Remember this table we saw earlier? Let's take a look at this success chance equation. Ooh, exciting! Let's assume a mining level of 100 and the tool bonus of 0.26 from our exceptional master-crafted Averite pickaxe. When mining the Averite ore node from our example, the equation looks like this. Let's slip in our mining level and tool bonus to give us the answer. Right then, this is our chance of having a successful gather attempt on that particular node. It doesn't matter if we hit the 50% to gather iron ore or the 50% to gather Averite ore. Our chance of getting any ore at all is 55%. This is why you may want to bring the highest level tool you can, as you'll be gathering more ore and have a better chance at getting better resources. These pickaxes and hatchets are also very affordable, so even the poors don't have an excuse to pick up a better tool eventually. Okay, so now you know how to gather and what kind of resources you can expect to get and why. So, what do we do with this stuff once we've gathered it? Well, for ore, simply take it to a smelter and double-click the ore in your backpack. This will smelt the ore into ingots, ready to be sold. If you chopped wood, then simply use your hatchet on the wood in your backpack to turn it into logs. Or boards. One of them. But wait, you will want to create 5,000 of your chosen resource, then buy one of these blank commodities from an NPC and use it on your resource to create a commodity. This is the best way to sell your gathered goods. To actually sell your goods, simply go onto the Outlands official Discord channel and post in the Want to Sell channel. This is how I first started out, and it is quite a smooth experience. Alternatively, you can set up a vendor at another player's house to sell your stuff for you, but beware, this will cost you money, so don't just set one up willy-nilly.
I made a iron commodity, Uncle Shrimpy.
Oh, little Timmy, I knew you could do it. Now, here's your share of the profits from this highly sought-after item.
I hate you, Uncle.
Ha ha ha! I love you too, little Timmy. All right, let's talk about our build. As a gatherer, you'll want to spend your time gathering instead of fighting. As such, it is recommended to learn a little magery so that you can summon some friends to aggro and tank mobs for you. Now, when you first start out, you may not think this is necessary, but I assure you, if you want to do any meaningful gathering, then having something to keep the monsters off your back is in fact mandatory. Here's the build I use for my gatherer. It's simple to level and very effective. Oh, and be sure to turn on your tracking whenever you're out, as there are a plethora of PKers out there that love chasing us gathering aficionados. It's best to instantly recall if you see the tracking skill go off at all. Trust me, I have played it a little risque before, and it never works out well. The aspect you'll want to be using here is Harvest. This will give you a bonus to your effective harvesting skill. If you remember, this gives us better odds at successfully gathering from the node. It also gives us a chance at getting 2 times the yield from a gathering attempt. And yes, this also doubles the XP gain towards our harvesting aspect. Neat. Lastly, it gives us a bonus to our armor after a successful gathering attempt. This isn't all that great, but hey, it's nice to have. Oh, and don't worry about applying Harvest aspect to your gathering tool. It will do absolutely nothing whilst you're gathering. Simply apply Harvest to your armor and you're good to go. Oh, and to make up for this, the devs have given you double the XP gain if you only have the Harvest aspect applied to your armor and not your weapon, so don't worry, you'll level up just the same. Okay, let's talk about leveling from 100 to 120. Once you've reached level 100 in your chosen skill, you may notice a sharp decline in your skill gain. This is because either you forgot to buy skill scrolls and your level cannot increase anymore, or you don't know the biggest gathering secret in all of Gatherlands. Once you reach level 100, you can only get skill gain from gathering attempts on rare ores, or logs. As such, if you're gathering a basic iron ore node, then you will no longer gain skill levels for that ore node after you've reached level 100. This is why your skill level suddenly slowed down. As such, it is highly recommended to save all of your resource maps until you're level 100, and then use them all to gain skill levels from 100 to 120. What do you mean, what is a resource map? Damn it, Rodney! Do I have to explain everything? Fine, but this is the last thing that we're going to cover. Resource maps can be bought from other players, or else they'll drop randomly from monsters as you're out grinding those deliciously dangerous dungeons. Once you have an undeciphered resource map, you'll need to use a spyglass on it to decipher the location of the resource. Consider making an echo with cartography leveled to help you with this. Once you have the resource map deciphered, you can take a screenshot. Might I recommend using Snipping Tool? Then simply paste that screenshot into this website, and it will tell you where in the Outlands map that area is located. Oh, but be sure to double check, as sometimes I have had it send me to the backwoods of nowhere. So if it looks a little off, just try searching again. It usually works on a second try. Once you've travelled to the location of your resource map, you'll need to go where X marks the spot, and start doing your gathering of choice. If you get a cool little object pop up, then you know you're in the right spot. Just sit there, gathering away until you get some seeds. These signify that you've used up your map, and the spot is now empty. You'll notice that this spot only yields the resource type of the specified map, so each resource that you gather will guarantee you a chance at gaining skill levels. This is why I recommend saving all of your maps until level 100. Yes, even the lower level ores. Anyway, once you're done, go home with your lovely new resources. Oh, Rodney, you're right. I didn't go over forensic evaluation, but this video has already gotten so long. Oh, all right, but very quickly. Forensic evaluation lets us gather leather from corpses of fallen foes. Simply use a skinning knife from your backpack on a dead monster to carve the leather and cooking materials from its body. Unlike mining and lumberjacking, the chance to yield rarer materials is affected by your tool bonus, so buy the best knife that you can. I would recommend taking this skill on a dungeon crawling character. For example, I have it on my backstabber and it fits the build rather nicely. But there is also some scavenging builds that run around dungeons, carving up all the monsters that everyone else leaves behind. Okay, Rodney, we covered it. Are you happy now? Fishing? No. I told you at the start, if you want a fishing guide, then leave a comment to let me know. There is far too much fishing content to go through for this video. Anyway, continue gathering for long enough and you'll be a rich man. Rich enough even to buy a home, perhaps. Yes, after some time selling resources, you may not be the homeless in-room abusing varlet that the townsfolk despise. Oh, the pores. They grow up so fast. Rodney, pass me a tissue. I'm going to have a cry. Thanks for watching. I hope this guide was useful to you. If you feel that you learned something, then please consider plucking your thumb from your hand and giving it to me. Subscribing is free and appreciated. When that little number goes up, it tickles the part of my brain that makes me happy. If you have an idea for a particular guide you want to see, then let me know in the comments below. Anyway, I'm off to force little Timmy into some more tiny caves for me. I do love the loose child labour laws in Outlands. What? Child labour is illegal in Outlands? Well then, I'd better go and start covering my tracks. Sir Shrimpington out.